I think Justin and me, I think we should look at that before that bill's paid.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
How's everybody doing?
good.
Okay, are we ready, Taylor?
Yep, do your thing.
Okay, call the meeting in order. I apologize. I was diagnosed with COVID middle of last week. I didn't think you wanted me in that meeting room with you. So I'm feeling fine on some nasty pills, but we're here. So thank you. We have a quorum, reading and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved. I'll talk to him.
Motion made and seconded. Additions, corrections, comments? All in favor?
Right.
All opposed? Carried. Bills, communications.
Had two NICEAG bills. One was for $181.68. Next one was for $148.98. CMS had a bill for $374.40. You have your Q2 payment to CCIDA for $5,050.36. Then Highlander submitted a bill for $10,571.44 in regards to the pumping stations.
Motion,
I will make a motion to pay them, but I'd like permission to ask Highlander if they could wait until after this grant is confirmed so that we can count it on that, because what we paid them before, we cannot take out of this grant.
Can I ask Herb too as well, that I'd like to see the pay application first as well too, please. I haven't seen that yet.
I can email it to you, Mark.
I'd like, wait a minute, I'd like to get a second for that. Is there a second to pay our bills?
Well, are we not gonna put the Highlander?
Well,
No,
we're in a discussion, right, you know?
I would like to ask them to hold up. I think we owe them that and they get spent it. And I don't know where
You don't Wayne is here, do you want to wait out here some?
we're going to be.
Well, it's
I would
public right now.
Yeah,
I would like to include that with them, but I would like to ask them not to get paid until we know for sure of the grant.
Yeah, when are we gonna take physical possession?
Justin's gonna say something, I'm sorry.
We're in the process of looking at all of Highlander's accruals right now, and would like to get them settled and resolved as quickly as possible. And clear the decks before we go out to bid in a month or so. So we can go into further session appropriate. Let's take a look at all the pay invoices and get them grossed up and work with them in a friendly way to get that resolved.
I'd second the motion.
Thank you. Discussion, Herb?
Oh, that's what you want? Is it all right if I talk with them about not getting paid? Justin, I don't know where you and Mark are with this.
Well, they haven't seen the pay. I mean, I'm after this meeting, I was gonna send this to Justin.
I can
And
email it
Mark.
to him right now.
You can email it to them now. Yeah, they haven't had a chance to review it.
I would not communicating anything at this point until Rick and I engage with them and come up with a payment on all pipes and time date. I'm gonna ask him to hold any invoices pending a bid that we presume he's going to be submitting on. That muddies the water on the procurement. We'd like to get all the pipes, all the time paid in a fair fashion. All pay invoices cleared, the decks. Then we go into a procurement without any liens, encumbrances, or disputes associated with the project.
Did you not listen to what Taylor just said? We paid them for everything that they've done, excepting the last bill, which was for about $10,000. Well, we paid them 88,000 for pipe, 50 and change, 55,000 for pipe, and 84,000 as part of phase 1 construction. That's done, but that came out of our money instead of the grant.
And for the ESD grant, it's reimbursable. So I'm pretty sure that was on Tracy. She should have already submitted those documents to ESD.
So we have everything that we've done with them in hand right now, except in the last $10,000 bill for,
Do we know what the additional 10,000 is for?
yes, it's for fittings for the pumping stations.
Is that the only open invoice?
That's the only open bill.
Chairman,
That's all we know about.
Well, okay, if
Chairman,
a lien release and
Mr. Chairman,
That's John on the line.
Yes, John.
yeah, I'm sorry I joined late. I'm gonna abstain from the motion because I wasn't in on the entire conversation. But I will put my 2 words in and say that even now, as I'm listening to this, there's no certainty about what's owed to whom and how much and all that. I would support any motion or any counter motion that gives authority to our 2 attorneys to put all those numbers together before we speak to anybody. That way we don't end up having to go back once again because we discovered a bill we didn't know about yesterday or today. That's it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Not either.
Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and pay the bills, and then Mr. Miller's gonna work out the agreements with
Okay,
Highlander.
that's what our motion is for. Let's just pass the motion.
And if you're sitting in this table, you're part of paying the bills.
Yeah,
Okay. One way or the other, right?
so we appreciate you staying at the head of the table.
I'm used to signing on this side of the check, so.
I think we're all set, Ray.
Okay. All in favor of paying the bills? Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I abstain.
Yes, John.
No,
John
I
abstained.
abstain.
Thank you. Okay. Motion is passed. Report of the treasurer.
For the month of June, we had gas lease revenue for $38.72. Interest on your savings account for $74.67. I worked with John to renew your CD that renews July 21st. We had already submitted, so you now entered another 3-month CD. So that'll expire in October. Yeah. So income for the month was $113.39. Then we had expenses for the month. You had electrical bills for the industrial park and postage for a legal notice that went out. That was the EDA notice that went out, which came to $406.48. So your net income was negative $293.09. Then there's a breakdown at the bottom of the account. That's all.
Was John helpful with the negotiating?
It was great. You did it for me.
Oh, that's good.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report, please.
So move.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Unfinished business. Herb's favorite, the sewer line.
We're on the sewer line.
What about it?
That's where we are.
That's what we're wondering.
Oh, if there's anything new since our special meeting, right?
Yeah, we
We
heard.
went over at
anything.
length at the special meeting, so. Anything new, Herb, on the sewer since the special meeting last week?
I think so. I'm not sure what we're supposed to say.
We need to go to executive
session for?
What?
Is it
Yeah.
something you?
Okay, then we can wait for that
Yeah,
executive
we'll wait
session.
at the end.
Yeah.
Because I think the chairman wanted an executive session on something else as well, so we can add that to the executive session.
Okay, we were going to have Steve Lynch here. Is Steve Lynch gonna be here or is he?
I've
He
heard
was
nothing,
invited.
yeah, I've heard nothing from Steve.
What did,
He was invited, I guess. The chairman said he was invited.
I talked to him a week or so ago and invited him. I've not heard anything this week from him.
I think we should, Ray, I think we should deal with that, and I think under the present circumstances, we should notify him that under the present conditions, we really don't need or want his loan or the application fee.
Okay. The conversation I had with him, per what Justin had recommended, was that they just set it aside. And if and when we did actually need it, then it would accrue any type of payment or closing cost. Steve thought he could do that. I thought he'd be there to report about that decision. He said he would have to talk to his board.
There's not only the closing cost, there's a $1,500 application
Right.
fee. Is he waiving it also?
Yep.
Ray, did you say yes?
Yes, I know there's a $1,500 closing cost. That's the conversation I had with Steve. I thought he'd be there. He's going to discuss setting it aside. And if and when we need it, then it would incur any kind of cost.
That, is he waiving the application fee also?
I can't say that for sure. He was supposed to be here today. That was a discussion I had with him, and he seemed to be favorable to doing that. And he said he would take it to his board. But if you want, I can call him tomorrow. Maybe he will yet be there. I don't know.
Whatever way you want to handle it, but I don't want to get stuck for an application fee for something that we aren't going to use.
We up there?
Yep.
No, doesn't
You
matter.
and I are on the same page with that one.
Okay, thanks, Ray.
Yep, but if you want, I can call him tomorrow. Or Mr.
Austin wants to say
We have
something.
plenty of time to reserve the cash availability until, and then we sign a construction contract after bids. The idea here is that the IDA should have the funds available for the entire project when it signs the construction contract. So we have time in the next 2 months to figure out what fees are associated with the loan or not.
Okay.
Well, I don't, Justin, I guess I'm just argumentative today. David Botar said that if this grant is approved, that we can use that grant for construction costs on a monthly basis. And therefore, we're not going to need money from borrowing to do the project. I just said, Mark.
Well, let me put it this way, on the day, and this being maybe a 2-month project, tops, how long does EDA take to process a disbursement? 90 days?
I don't
So
know.
if you have a contractor finish a job in 60 days and you're waiting 90 to get back from the EDA, assuming that's the case, you can't cash flow the proceeds available all of. Not a big deal. You'll get the money reimbursed.
You can say that if you want to, but I'm only one vote, but I'm never going to vote to borrow money from him at 4 3/4% interest for any reason at all. We can go to the bank and get it cheaper than that. We can, those things of course are going up. That is ridiculous and I'm not going to support that.
Well, let's delay this discussion until we talk to Steve.
I just want.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Herb, I
I
totally
wouldn't
agree with you.
I think.
How do you sign a contract? How do you give
Wait a minute, he's cutting
your
out.
bill? That's
Wait a minute, you cut out.
He doesn't have a good signal.
we can talk about it for an executive, but the bottom line is if a contractor signing a contract for $1.2 million and work with you, he's going to reasonably want to know available to you in immediate draw. Not a federal government reimbursement that could take 6 months. We just don't know what EDA does and how long their process takes.
Well, let's wait
again-
after we talk to Steve, because the whole point might be mute.
Yeah, maybe Steve.
Yeah.
Maybe Steve forgot the meeting.
Yeah.
I will call him tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Thank you, Ray.
Anything else on that? Anything else that on the sewer until we go into executive session?
No.
Well, Mr. Wayne's here, so,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, a member of the public's here, if they wanted.
Thank you. I wasn't sure who was there. Hey Doug, how are you?
Good, Ray, how you doing?
Good, except I come down with COVID at the end of last week. I apologize for not being there in person, but I didn't think you wanted me in that room.
Well, I had the booster, the vaccinations and the COVID, so I think I had the whole thing.
I had all the back, I had everything, still here I am.
Yeah, wasn't too bad for me anyway, so hopefully you're doing all right.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, what do you got? What's on your mind?
Okay, so I just made, I want to.
Excuse me, Doug, do you know everybody?
I don't know everybody. I know Paul and Maureen. Who else do I know?
Andy Reinflush.
Andy,
Rick Galvano.
Rick,
Gina Spino.
Gina, okay.
Oh, I think you knew Grover Alcott.
Sure do, he works for me.
Yeah, that's my niece's husband.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice guy.
Yes, he is a great guy. So I made a few copies of what I'm interested in here, so I just want to pass them around. I don't know if we had enough or not. I wasn't sure how many folks would be here.
I can-
We can share.
Rick, share.
So what I have here is my property borders the IDA's property, which is to the east, right behind the mall. And in yellow, I've highlighted, I said 18 acres. I would like to purchase approximately that 18 acres. And I border it on the west side and I border it on the south side. You can kind of see the blue line there. And I put a little spot here. That's where my house is. Sits right on the corner. It's a wooded area. It's in hilly and it's in tracked by the railroad, which you can't get across. So I don't think it would hurt to be sold to us and infringe on what the IDA wanted to do, which I've understood possibly was put a rail across the road to the milk plant or the other facility over there. So I had talked to Tracy Verrier about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. She thought it would be all right, but had to wait for a period of time due to however the transaction went, and I don't remember all the details. A like kind of exchange or something like that. So here we are, about 3 or 4 years later. So I wanted to ask if you would consider selling that 18 acres at this point. And that's what my request is. Would I be able to purchase that property? So again, I own to the west, I own to the south. Railroad tracks are on the north side. If there was going to be a spur, there would be plenty of room for it to swing around there. So I don't think it would infringe in any way on what was possibly desired to be. I don't know what the status is on whether that will actually happen or not. But I don't want to do anything to infringe on that. So try to angle it such that it wouldn't make any difference with that. So that's my request.
You're saying
Thank
that's
you.
why this part.
Yeah, that's why I angled it more, just so there's plenty of room to.
What is your address? I just want to look it up on my app.
6600 Half Acre Road.
I think I met you years ago, by the way. I used to manage the mall.
Oh, we probably did, yeah. Uh-huh, yeah. So yeah, I was the owner of D&W Diesel,
Right.
which we sold
Yep.
last fall, still working. And, but I own the farmland adjacent to it. My home is up in the corner there.
Okay.
So that's my situation. Just want a little more security there. It's awful close to my house.
Yeah.
Have you made an offer to?
I did make an offer a few years ago, 3 years ago yeah, I actually have it here, January 2019. So I did make an offer back then, and I just had proposed $20,000. I just put a number to start, so we can start to talk and see if it would be possible to do it. And I'd have to pay the surveying and the closing costs and all those kinds of things.
That was a total price, 20,000
Yeah,
for the 18 acres.
right. It's non-tillable, it's wooded, it's kind of an interesting terrain.
Yeah, I walked that years ago. Now I don't think you'd be able to walk it so easy.
So whatever would be reasonable, I'd be willing to pay.
It's all in the definition, isn't it?
It's all in the definition. So that's the location, that's my situation, that's why I'm interested.
Mhm. Well, thank you.
So do we say we take it under advisement? Is that what we
Yeah,
said?
so we want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it.
And can I ask, do you have a purpose that do you have plans for? I mean, 18 acres is a lot. Is there something you're planning specifically to do?
No,
No?
just not have it infringe on my own.
Okay.
He doesn't want somebody
I don't
else
want somebody else.
owning that
possibly-
right next to
right.
your house.
I don't want hunters in there someday or something
Yeah.
like that. I just want to have control of the,
No, I have about
Property.
25 acres around my house for the same.
yeah, same thing. I just want that.
Have you
perimeter.
had any problems with it over the years? With,
No,
yeah.
How long has your house been? 3 years?
no, 10.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's been 10 years already.
I'm
Unbelievable.
Herb Marshall.
Oh, okay, heard, yep. Yeah, we lived on 5 and 20 for 35 years, next door to Maureen and her family. And then I wanted to get away from D&W, so I wanted to build a house up there. My wife said, no way. So I said, well, if I give it to my daughter, can we do something like this? So we made an arrangement with my daughter and then we built the house. So yeah, it's been 10 years.
I think we would be interested in trying to do something with you. I think we're somewhat apart on the price.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm just trying to propose something to get a conversation and see if it was even.
If, I think what Rick recommended was to listen to him and to look at the map to what he wanted.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a discussion on
Okay.
what we think we might.
Whatever you think is reasonable, I'm
And we're not
sure
gonna sell it to somebody else.
I'd be interested in working something out. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right.
Thank you.
All set?
Nice to see you.
Doug,
Thank you. Thanks, Ray. Take care.
thank you.
The 18 acres, somebody surveyed that?
No, that's the approximation.
Okay.
I would have to get a
That's what I would
survey,
ask.
have to get a survey done.
So somebody will
Hmm?
determine how many, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if you were open to that, we'd get a survey.
Thank you.
Nice
All
meeting
right,
you.
thanks, see you, Paul.
Good to see you now.
Take care. Football with Timmy all the time.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. See you later. So what else is on the agenda?
Just an executive session.
I understood
We have-
we were gonna have a new director here at our meeting today. The new general.
Congratulations.
There it is. Are you ready to go into executive session?
We have one more thing on the.
I'm
agenda.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, two.
I move we go into executive session.
Well, we got some.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ray, do you want to finish the agenda first?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
okay. We have CCIDA staff updates. The new CEO started Monday. I was informed by the HR committee, and I'm not very happy about it, that he would not be at today's meeting. Don't ask me why. And they promised he would be at our next month's meeting. So that's about all I know. I'm a little under the weather, so I haven't really argued with anybody this week, but I intend to tomorrow. Any other staff updates, Maureen or Taylor?
I'll have more probably next month, once things
Thank
settle
you.
down a little bit, new applications going out, things like that.
You mentioned
Yeah, some
HR.
things on the, projects on the horizon.
HR.
Did you have a conversation with Grover or not yet?
That meeting is for tomorrow.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I don't have any updates, just, working, finishing up your sewer. Nothing new. Next month, you'll hear from us more.
New business. Ada, CCIDA the auditor.
I spoke with Ray earlier this week, yesterday. about the RFP for your auditors. Buckingham and Holton takes care of that right now. Last year you guys approved, to ask them for an extension for a year. Ray said he would like to do that again for one more year. He doesn't want to do a complete change if they do get outbidded. He doesn't feel the need that we need to change right now. So I told him after we brought it to the board, if you guys would like to take that route, we will do the same approach with Ada tomorrow at their meeting. It's already been on the radar with Jim Dacey for this. And if that's the case, I will reach out to Elaine to bring back an offer if she chooses to go that route again.
You haven't gotten a price from her?
Not yet. We will after tomorrow, so I'll most likely handle it Thursday.
Let's get a price and then we'll discuss that.
Okay.
Is there any, my recollection, is there any regulation IRS that we change every every 3 years or 6 years or something like?
I'm not
Do you know
sure.
that?
I'm not sure.
Justin might know, but I have heard of that from that, at least go out to
Yeah.
RFP every so many years. Justin, correct me if I'm right, it actually change auditors, even if it's within the same firm, I think, after so many
I
audits.
did that.
Something
the
like that.
last-
There's some standards on that.
Yeah, I
I
remember
know they
that.
changed auditors. We've been working with her partner. The
Yes,
past,
I think,
at least
yes.
the past 2 years I've been here, it has not been Elaine. She just presents to us, but she's not the one that is
So,
doing the audit.
whatever it is, that's the legal answer to that question.
Yes.
Okay.
John,
You can stay with the same.
Yeah,
what's that, John?
yeah.
You're breaking up, Justin.
I'm sorry. You can stay with the firm if you rotate lead auditor.
Okay.
You broke up.
You can,
He
he said
said he
that
should
you
call
can
back.
stay with the auditor as long as you change the lead auditor,
Yeah.
which we
Stay
do.
with the firm.
The
as
firm,
long as
yep.
you change
Yeah.
the
Which
audit.
we do.
Correct.
Okay.
Turn my video. You can stay with the firm if you rotate in-house lead auditor.
Okay, thank
Every
you.
3 years.
Okay, so-
Justin, you might have to reset your machine.
So this will be our second. We just completed 2 years with the auditor we've had, so I guess we're okay for one more.
Just
And then we have to,
get the
change.
price.
okay, I can do that.
Any other discussion on that?
Should Justin call back? It's really hard to hear him.
Justin, would you mind calling back? Maybe we could have better success in executive session.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that right now.
We've had trouble the whole meeting with, okay, there it goes, it's gone, he's gonna come back. Is there a motion to go next? I'm sorry.
Upcoming events?
We just have a webinar, Sylvia's webinar, Growing Nonprofit Stories, that's August 4th from 9 to 10. Then we have. And then we have the
Yeah.
annual clam bake, August 11th.
Come back.
4 to 7, still at Yagerburg. If you guys would like to attend, please let me know, because you being chamber members, I can just go ahead and
Give us a ticket.
yes, that.
We'll
Register
talk-
you, August
we'll come back in
11th, 4 to
after we
7.
talk
at
about it.
Yagerburg.
Well, just.
So if you wanna go, you can email me, call me, and I can register everyone who wants to attend.
Okay. Okay, we're ready for executive session.
Make the motion.
I'd like to make a motion, we go into executive session.
On personnel issues for the hiring, firing, or discipline of an employee, on contract negotiations, and a possible purchase, sale, or lease of real property.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay,
Any
so
Okay,
opposed?
all right, hold on.
Let's secure the perimeter.
well, I think